Hi everyone, and thank you for watching what is going to be the first in a series of videos I'm going to upload in the run up to my channel swim in July. Now, one of the things about a channel swim is that in order to do it you have to undertake a 6-hour qualifying swim in cold water. What does cold water mean? So anything under 15.5 degrees. And to give you a bit of perspective of that, most of the swimming pools which some of you will use in the UK will typically be around 28-29 degrees, so that kind of gives you an indication of how cold 15.5 degrees is, and obviously water temperature being very different to air temperature. So in order to do that, I've brought myself onto a Swimtrek training course in Majorca this week, with the original intention of training through today, tomorrow, and then doing the 6-hour qualifier on Wednesday. Now, unfortunately, after arriving in glorious sunshine on Sunday, the weather's taken a bit of a turn for the worse, as you can probably see from the sky in the background behind me. So we've just been advised by our guides that they're actually going to move the swim, the 6-hour qualifier, forward to tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So not quite the 6-hour qualifier I'd been hoping for, coming to one of the Spanish islands hoping to have the sun on my back, but actually I think in reality this is a good challenge, and this is a good test. Swimming a channel has lots of variables. There are lots of things which can change, lots of things which are outside of your control. The tide, the weather, the temperature, the wind. So actually going through this process and having to do the qualifier in conditions which I wasn't expecting, I think is really going to be a good opportunity to test myself mentally, and potentially a rehearsal for what might happen on the day. So this morning we went out and we did a 2-hour swim in the bay. I felt pretty good, pretty comfortable. Temperature was about 13.5 degrees, so well within the kind of the cold water limit. Also explains why I'm standing here in Majorca still wearing a hat and a coat. A little bit cold when we got out. Just had a little bit of lunch, and then we're going to be heading back in this afternoon to do a 1 hour just to loosen ourselves up in advance of the big one tomorrow. So Tuesday afternoon, and happy to report I have successfully got through my 6-hour qualifying swim. Temperature very cold today, between 12 and 13 degrees, but thankfully not quite as much wind as was originally predicted. So very cold swim, quite hard, but again felt very good in myself, and almost enjoyed it, so big box ticked. Hi everyone, so sadly I'm now at the end of my Majorca long distance swim training camp. Following our 6-hour qualifying swim on Tuesday, the weather did turn. Unfortunately it was too windy to get out to some of the other bays, but we were able to get back out into the bay where we'd done our 6-hour qualifying swim, so a little bit repetitive, but thankfully we were able to get out and do swims both on Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday a 90-minute easy swim in the morning, and then a 60-minute swim with some video analysis in the afternoon, and then this morning we've all been back in for another 3-hour swim, which was again very tough with the wind and the temperature. So what that effectively means is over the last 4 days I've swum for 14.5 hours. In that time I've covered about 40 kilometres, and consumed, or burnt I should say, about 13,000 calories. So very much looking forward to tonight's dinner and a few beers to top up some of that kind of calorie deficit. So how would I sum up the camp? So first of all, I would say it's been a hugely successful and amazing experience. The guides who we've been working with, so Fiona, Cliff and Mike, have been absolutely excellent. I'd watched a YouTube video from someone who'd been on a camp a few years ago, and had kind of talked about how the guides had really helped and supported people through their 6-hour qualifying swim, and having gone through that process and that exercise myself, I can completely understand why now. It's the help, it's the support, it's the encouragement, it's the attention to detail, and I think each of us here sort of owe them an immense amount for getting us through what was a very tough day. It's been great to connect with and meet a number of other like-minded people, many of which are doing the channel as well. It's times when you across this week where emotions you've felt, feelings you've had, very cold, very exhausted, some of the swims being very tough, and being able to talk to people and sometimes even just look at other people and get a knowing look back, knowing that they know how you're feeling, has been incredibly powerful and incredibly good. And I think as each of us get closer to our own individual challenge, our own individual milestone, whether that be a channel swim or something else, I think this support group which we've now created is going to be incredibly powerful and no doubt will help each of us through what is going to be some quite interesting times to come. So on a personal level, I think this has really helped me mentally, so I'm not underestimating the size of the challenge I'm taking on, and whilst a confident swimmer and whilst I've done other endurance events, there is something quite unique about this channel swim, and obviously reasons why it's recognised as the hardest open water swim in the world. So I think for me, getting that 6 hours done, being able to keep continuously getting back into cold water and knocking out more swims has been hugely beneficial to my confidence. Probably my favourite part of the week was being told by the guide Fiona that I probably need to put on about another half a stone. In some of the earlier sessions I really felt the cold come out slightly blue on one in particular, so very much looking forward to putting a plan in place to help me gain that extra half a stone, perhaps a few more pounds. So yes, it's been a hugely successful week from a swimming perspective, but just a quick reminder that my swim challenge is really only part of this, and the purpose of this is really to raise funds and awareness for two great causes, two great charities, the Osborne Partnership and Abbie's Army. So at the end of this video the website will come up. If you can, it would be great if you could donate whatever you feel is relevant, whatever you can afford. However big or small, every donation hugely appreciated by myself and both the charities. On that note, I'd also like to say a huge thank you this week to 5+ Architects, to Leesman, to Burt Jones and Brewer, and also to Alinea for their generous donations. So thank you very much guys, again much appreciated, and I will see you all soon.